The Mr. Excel podcast is brought to you by Easy Excel.
Hey, welcome back to the Mr. Excel netcast. I'm Bill Gillen. Let's follow up on yesterday's netcast where we were trying to do a lookup that required two columns. Now, yesterday I used a concatenated key, but if you're not allowed to add something to this data, it's in an external workbook or something like that, then we have to do, frankly, something. We're going to geek out here. Basically, I'm going to use the match function to figure out where this particular company, the company in E2, starts. So I want to figure out how many rows down basically that goes. We'll put 0, which is like doing a false in VLOOKUP. And it says that company 300 starts in the 9th row of that range. If I put in company 200, you see that it would start in the 5th row of this range. And then how many rows in the company? So equal COUNTIF. COUNTIF, how many items over there in column A are equal to this particular company? And that's going to tell us that we have 4. So now that I know positionally where it starts and how large it is, we can use a function called offset, equal offset. So offset is going to start up here in B1. I'll press the F4 key. And then it wants to know how many rows down. Well, how many rows down is going to be the answer to the first formula. How many columns over? I'm not going to go any columns over to start the reference. And then it wants to know how tall it's going to be. That's the answer to our second formula. And how wide it's going to be. Well, that's 2 columns in this case because I need to get that amount. So offset is a great way to positionally refer to the lookup table. All right. So now that I have that offset, I want to go and actually build my VLOOKUP. So I'm going to look up that value in F2, the amount, or the account, I'm sorry, in the dynamic VLOOKUP range, and comma 2, comma false, just like normal. And the advantage here is you get one formula without having to add a concatenated key. All right, now that I've built that formula in multiple pieces, I'm going to copy those characters and paste them in here. And then copy the characters from the second question, everything but the equal sign, of course, Control C, and paste them in right here, Control V. So we end up with one big, huge formula that I can actually now cut and paste up here. And it looks like we have something very impressive, of course, when someone looks at that formula, but in fact built in several different steps. So there you have it. Great way to do a lookup. It requires 2 columns when you can't add a concatenated key. Hey, I want to thank you for stopping by. Tomorrow, I promise, something much easier. We'll see you next time for another netcast from Mr. Excel.
Hey, boy, I almost forgot our sponsor, Easy Excel. Easy Excel, I just checked. It makes it real easy to do this two-way lookup, the 2-column lookup. So what I had to do was I had to move things to 2 different sheets. Here's the values I want to look up on sheet 1, and then it has company and account. And then here's the lookup table on sheet 2, company, account, and amount. I go back to sheet 1, merge sheets. I want to merge this with the lookup sheet. Select it. Base it on both the company and account. Of course, if you had more fields, it'd be easy to choose those. And I want to join it in the amount, rows in sheet 1 that match sheet 2. Perfect. Click Finish. And we get a brand new sheet with the company and account and the lookup value from sheet 3. Much easier than any of the methods in the last couple of days. There you have it. Easy Excel, easy-excel.com, free 30-day trial. Give it a shot.